What's good, y'all? I'm Monai, and I always got something to say. Hey, remember, one love, one motion. Look, I told y'all I'm gonna give you an opinion based off the facts. I'm gonna give you my opinion based off the facts. So today, we're gonna be talking about learning yourself, like learning your person, how to learn your own person. And I'm by myself today, and that's okay because I want to get familiar with y'all, just me and y'all, just very intimate, me and the audience. So listen. And what my biggest thing for this podcast and like for my platform period is to like remind people, like, you have emotions, and guess what? You're entitled to your emotions. You feel what I'm saying? It's too many people, and I've been this person that walk around the world acting like their emotions don't exist. And that is the problem. Your emotions do exist. You're not Superman. You're not a superhero. You feel things, okay? And you're entitled to feel these things. But guess what? While you're entitled to feel the way you feel, it is your duty and your obligation to teach yourself how to process how you feel and to learn your person. You, your vessel, you're human, it is your responsibility and nobody else's. I want y'all to understand that. It is your responsibility and nobody else's but to take care of you. This is you. You know what I'm saying? This is me. I got to take care of me. I got to feed me. Nobody's going to put the fork to your mouth and chew the food for you. You have to have the strength to do that for yourself. Shoot, sometimes life gets tough, man. And I've been through it to where I didn't have an appetite to eat. I didn't have that oomph to even get out of bed some days. I was in a stump, man. Like, I was at the bottom of the bottom, it felt like for me. Seriously. It was days I was not eating. By choice, lack thereof, stubbornness, how heavy my mental was weighing on me. Trust me, I've been there. And we all have. We all have. And you're entitled to feel that way, but you're entitled to tell yourself, hey, no, I'm finna take care of you. We're going to take care of us. Let me learn you. Learn yourself so you can take care of yourself. How are you going to take care of something you don't know what to do with? I don't know what my triggers are unless I process them. You feel what I'm saying? Like for example, what's a good example I can give? Okay. Since I am a sexual assault survivor, I get triggered when it comes to men. And that's something that I'm still processing. It's actually been, I'll be honest, it's been something that I've suppressed for so long that I had felt numb to it. Not numb to the action because that was a long time ago, but numb to the emotion. Numb to how it made me feel when I thought about it. And so I get triggered. And my triggers bring up all the suppressed emotion. And it's the slightest triggers, and it could be nothing that's nobody else's fault. It could be as far as, okay, I'll give y'all some DTLR stories. Let me make this subject. Let me give some light to this subject. So working at DTLR, I've ran into a lot of men. And like, this is the first store that I've ran into men that they constantly flirt with me, man. It was just weird. Like, it was weird. And it still is weird because I don't have a haircut right now, but do you see my fade? You have the same type of fade, honey. That should tell you something. Anyway. This guy, he had locks, and I helped him with the pair, I think, of Chucks. No, not Chucks. What's his name? He played for the Suns. Charles Barkley. I'm sorry, I call him Chuck. Charles Barkley. Yeah, I was helping him with a pair of Charles Barkleys. And he was like, I went to go get his size. I came back out and he was just like, "Can I get your Instagram?" I was just like, "What?" He was like, "Can I get your Instagram? Like, I like the way you dress. I just like your style." I just like, okay. Now I'm knowing like he's flirting. You feel me? But he would his buddy. I ain't trying to embarrass him. I got other customers. I don't give a crap if you have my Instagram. If you ever text me, I'm never gonna text you back. Ever. You will never know where I am. So, I was just like, whatever. And like, I guess I get it when y'all be saying like, man, like, I'm gonna just get on my Instagram because I ain't trying to have no stalker or whatever. Bro, I get it. Like, I see it now. Like, seriously. But at the same time, y'all just be wanting to get your Instagrams out. Let's be for real. Y'all just want to get your just say you want to get your Instagram out. Just say that. And it's okay. I'm cool. What I like is an honest blank for you filling the blank. Because a blank that's honest, she tell you everything she doing and it's cool. She be like, yeah, I'm gonna give her my Instagram anyway, I don't care. But she'll still tell you what she doing on the side. But it be the ones who be like, if you see me at all spill giving somebody my Instagram, it's not that I'm getting with them or whatever. It's just that I don't want any stalkers and da-da-da. Girl, you have gave out your Instagram 20 times tonight. Anyways, so he asked me for my Instagram, and I gave it to him. He checked out. He left. Cool. Girl. Why a couple hours later he come back with his friend, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the girl I told you about." And I'm looking around like, who is you talking about? And so he come up to me. He's like, "Oh, I just told my friend about you." His friend was like, And I'm like, what, dog? I had to walk to the back. And I got triggered because, like, bro, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you feel me? Like, what? Like, it ain't none of that. You feel me? But, like, I don't know how to explain the feeling like I get, but it's like, I don't know, like, you go into shock, like, a little bit. And it was just, I didn't cry because I'm at work. But, like, the way I reacted to it, like, in the back, though, by myself, it was just like, like I really had to go through that. And then like I talked about it with my coworkers and I laughed it off, but like I really don't like that. Like it just, I don't know, it's like your body goes into like shock momentarily, and then you also have to be aware of your surroundings. And like I try to be so strong, I'm just like, okay, you don't cry in front of other people. And I do, like, I don't know if I have to get out of that, but like I do not believe in crying in public. Like, I'll go to the bathroom. But I will cry because I'm entitled to my emotions. I have to process them. But I just had to go through that, and I told myself it's okay. I just went to the back, to the left. But like that trigger brought up suppressed emotions that I had not yet processed. And first of all, I had to learn that about me. Like, okay, I had to process. I had to go through it. I had to reflect. Why do men trigger you so much? That is why. Because I'm a survivor of certain things. And I have to process that is something that I still have to grow from, because that's tough. That is it's life changing. And it happened when I was about 4 or 5. And it's been hard to process all my life. It's just that's why I tell y'all, yes, you have to get closer to God, but it is vital to have therapy because there are certain things that you have to practice tools with processing. And I believe that sexual assault is one of them. But to learn your person is one of the greatest things that you can ever do in life, because first of all, how are you going to learn other people if you don't know you for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you understand somebody else? How can you have discernment in other people, discernment in life? How can you depict whether someone is well-intentive or not well-intentive? How can you depict if somebody is envious or has malicious intent if you don't study people? Right? And how can you study people if you haven't studied yourself? Like, you're understanding backwards. And that's why some of y'all's understanding be backwards, because you're literally understanding backwards. You're trying to learn other people without learning yourself. If you don't have accountability, how would you dare say that you could hold other people accountable to their actions? It is hypocrisy. Like seriously, it's being a hypocrite. So let's practice the formula of learning self so you can master the formula of learning self so that you can implement the formula of self when it comes to other people. But you can't implement nor master something if you don't practice it. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, you have to learn you first, then people. You can't do that backwards. You can't learn people, then learn you. So that's something that I think is like really, really, really big. Because I mean, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm very blunt sometimes. A lot of us are walking around the world hypocrites because you're trying to understand other people before you understand yourself. That goes for relationships, that goes for friendships, that goes for work, that goes for your hobbies, that goes for anything. If you don't know you, how the heck would you understand how you react to certain things? How do you understand why you don't like something, why you do like something, if you don't take the time to study it? You feel what I'm saying? So that's just one thing. But I'll give you an example on something that I had to learn for myself and from myself. And I just learned this, y'all. I learned this on, what is today? I believe I learned this on Friday. No, I'm going to give y'all the actual date because I think it is so important. The journey is so important. March 1st, 2025 at 10:15 a.m. So, 3 days ago. Here's my example. I'm gonna call it the double back. So I had double back this year. Well, not this year. Hold on. Excuse me. I double back in 2024. Um, that it was bittersweet because it was very like even though we were present in each other's lives, it was very disconnected at the same time. It was very awkward at times. It was very, I mean, most of the time I felt like it was just pointless because it was just no emotion there. And I mean, I knew why, um, but I always thought that I was scared of her. And not scared of her as physically, because you can't beat me. Scared of her as in scared of opening myself to her. Even though I did so much growing, and even though I had learned so much about life, and actually, let me say this, she told me one day in the car, I guess we were talking about my emotions, I don't know. I remember this vaguely though. We were talking, and I said I was sad. We were parked right outside of George Street. She was dropping me off, and I told her I was sad. And she was like, Asia, I don't think that you're sad. And I just looked at her like, how are you gonna tell me how I feel? Gonna tell me how I feel. But no, she was right. She said, there's different vocabulary words for different situations and for different feelings. And you keep saying that you're sad, but I don't think that you're sad. I don't think that's the word for it. She said, it's something I seen on TikTok. You might want to look into it. Learn how to use different vocab words for how you feel. That's one thing that she taught me. Anybody that's been in my life, I've always learned something from them, and I didn't know it at the moment, but later on, I definitely took the lessons and implemented them. So I do commend her for that. She taught me a lot about emotional intelligence. At the time, I just didn't comprehend. So yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So I wasn't scared of her. I was scared of opening up. I was scared of my own feelings, because I was scared of getting hurt. Um, yeah, I was scared of getting hurt, and that is an example of carrying baggage or carrying past traumas into another situation. Or this is why I say doubling back is dangerous, guys. Carrying past traumas and carrying trauma from that person, from a previous event to um, a new situation. You know, that's why doubling back is bittersweet, because there's it might not be for same for both parties, but there's definitely histories and traumas there that if you do not acknowledge it, and that was the issue, it wasn't acknowledged. If you do not acknowledge it, it will linger. You do not ever want a lingering trail in any situation, relationship, whatever. You don't want that, because it's a big elephant in the room, and it's an uncomfortable elephant in the room. I know for me personally, I cannot speak for everybody, but it gets deeper than that. I wasn't scared of her. I was scared of me. The problem was, and in my own selfishness, it was not even about her. Okay? Let me break it down to you. I had did projecting at the most extensive level in my own head. Swear to God. I had projected I had projected things that may or may not even be true. I had projected that she was not emotionally available, even though it was me who was not emotionally available. I had projected that she was terrible at communication, even though it was I who was terrible at communication. I used to jug and finesse. That's what we call it. I used to jug and finesse, and I had projected jugging and finessing on her. That's just my words. That's just a bit of words. So I had projected all of these things and all these emotions to where I had made myself almost hate this girl. And it was completely on me. It was nothing that she did. It was not even merely her actions. It was simply my projection. But y'all, this is what I learned. And this is a part of accountability. My projection was not projection. My projection was reflection. My projection was reflection. Listen, to project is to transfer or attribute one's own emotion or desire to another person unconsciously. The key to that definition is what? Transfer one owns to another. I had transferred my own action, because these are things that I did. When I looked at her, all I seen was a reflection of who I used to be. How much of a I was. How much of a liar I was. How much of a manipulator I was. This is not me beating myself up. This is literally me holding myself accountable to my actions, and it's definitely not to dwell on the person either, but it's merely, listen, let's take out the people, okay? Let's take out the two parties, and let's simply look at the action and the result of the action. That's what my analysis on myself, that's how I learn myself. I have to take away the people, including me, and merely look at the action and the intention, and analyze the situation from the action and the intention, because you have to do it very logically. You have to, when you're analyzing, you have to be logical and emotional, and you have to add those two together to come to some type of interpretation or some type of conclusion. And not everything is to be understood, but everything is to be at least looked at. I'll tell you why I say it was projection. I mean, it was reflection and not projection. Um, Man, yeah, give me a second, cause I get emotional, and it's not. I don't know how to explain it. It's just cause I get pissed off with me. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to taking accountability, I get really pissed off with myself because I get y'all see anybody who's ever been through growth, anybody who's on this journey. Let me tell you something. Accountability and reflection will make you disgusted with your past actions, and I get disgusted with my past actions, man, for real. When I hold myself accountable to things, I really take it to heart because I mean it. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is when you, first of all, I had to, before I do that, let me give myself a pat on the back. You're allowed to give yourself a pat on the back, okay? It takes a lot to take accountability and actually own your actions. If you don't take accountability and own from your actions, you won't grow from them. You feel what I'm saying? I get so disgusted where I used to act because I know better. Especially now. Y'all, if I'm being frank, let me be real. I'm being real blunt with y'all, real transparent. I beat myself so much about this particular is because, you want to know what? I knew what I was doing when I was doing it. I knew right from wrong when I was doing it. I knew right from wrong when I was doing it. Yep. I'm talking about before the double back, the initial. I knew that freaking 95% of the things that I said and did was straight and wrong. And I proceeded to do it still. Why? And this is another thing I had to learn. To hold myself accountable for is because I was not healed. And especially from the situation that I just got out of, literally. Lord, this is hard. This is a lot harder than recording it in my phone, y'all. Let me tell you something. This is tough, man. It's really tough. And let me tell y'all, I'm trying to make it fun, but I gotta be transparent first. Because a lot of people are not real with how they feel, man. I want y'all to understand we're all human and we all have emotions. And it's important to just acknowledge your emotions. And so what I'm doing is showing you an example of how to acknowledge your emotions. I am the example. Me. I'm showing you how to regulate your emotions, and I'm going through this thing called life with you guys. I'm going through this growth journey and this growth process with you guys. It's been it's been a long time coming, but God doesn't give me testimony to waste, and me and him have decided that this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to share my testimony with the world because my testimony is not my own. Okay. I had to remind myself that, so I was able to say this part. Okay. The reason why I did what I did, knowing it was wrong, is because I resented her. And it's nothing that's her fault. I'm trying to tell y'all it's my own selfishness. I resented her for not being somebody else. That's more common than you think. Yeah, and that sucks. I resented her for not treating me the way someone else did, for not nurturing me the way someone else did. Asia, be honest with yourself. You gotta be accountable for not coddling me the way someone else did. Let me tell y'all something. She was one of the only people who held me accountable to my actions. She'd sit right up there, tell you what you did, how it made her feel, and why it needs to change. She's holding me accountable. I resent her for that too. I didn't like being told I was wrong. I didn't like being told what to do. And let me tell y'all, something. To have to reflect that and actually take those actions and own that was tough. It was really tough. Because you should never make somebody feel that way because of your own selfishness. And also, I want to learn from me, right? I want to learn from me because, yes, it's touchy. Hold on. Hey, man. Why it was so important for me to reflect that is because I have to learn from me. I have to learn right and wrong from certain situations and certain aspects where I've been wrong to understand what right was. Because at that time in my life, I did not understand. At that time in my life, let me tell you something, okay? Communication was not the issue. Comprehension was the issue. She would communicate to me how she felt and how certain things made her feel. But Asia did not comprehend it. I hear you, but I was not listening to you. Y'all, I didn't even have the empathy to give at that time. I'm being honest. I lacked empathy. But you cannot be with someone, you cannot have a partner if one lacks empathy. You cannot, it just will not work. I mean, it's something that can be fixed, but Jesus, you cannot be with someone who lacks empathy for you. They do not care about how their actions make you feel. So that goes along with respect. If someone doesn't care about how their actions make you feel, and they continue to repeat these actions, then they don't respect you. Not only do they not respect you as a partner, they don't respect you merely as a human. If I can't respect or take into account that my actions are making you feel bad, and I continue to do it, you need to tell me to go ahead about my business. I don't respect you if I'm doing that. If you're doing that to me, you don't respect me. So a partner that lacks empathy is a partner that lacks respect because they don't respect your emotions and your feelings. They don't respect your voice. See, having a voice is more than just activism. Having a voice is more than just political. Having a voice is more than just academic. Having a voice is merely just showing up for you. And your partner respecting your voice is them showing up for you. You feel what I'm saying? So, if your partner does not respect how something makes you feel, they don't respect your voice. You feel what I'm saying? They don't show up for you when they're doing that. Did I break that down good? I'm pretty sure I wrote that down good. Reflection isn't easy. Accountability isn't easy. But comprehension is the first step to all of this. You have to comprehend in order to effectively communicate. You have to comprehend in order to understand. You have to comprehend in order to be empathetic. Because you can't be empathetic if you don't even understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? My issue wasn't communication. I hear you. It was my will to comprehend, to take it in. Some people simply just don't know how to comprehend. They have to be taught to do that. Some people are just too stubborn to comprehend because they don't want to hear that. It's the difference between having to be taught to do that and not wanting to hear that. I didn't want to hear it. That was my problem. I was stubborn, I was selfish, and I didn't want to hear it. And I just reflected that deeply in the part of it being a reflection of me and not projection. Both are bad, but like she said, use the right vocab words for what it is. This is important. It's important to, I feel like, just watch someone like practice what they preach. I'm literally going through my reflection with you all. Gosh. And it's so heavy, but it's very amazing too at the same time, because it's like breaking out of a shell. If I didn't learn from that, because I knew it was projection, right? I would tell my friends all the time, and they would tell me too. I think that's a little bit of projection. Like, I'd be so peed off about the smallest thing. I'd be so mad about, I'm talking about mad. Like, I never thought I could get that mad again. Mad. At the smallest things, and my friends is like, hey, what? It's just a joke. Like, calm down. Like, what is your problem? And it wasn't her. It was, I wanted her to be wrong so bad. Dear God, this really sucks. Because it really sucks that I thought like that. I wanted her to be wrong so bad that I pushed the notion. And I manipulated myself into believing it. Now, she was not perfect. Sister girl did her big ones. Ones as in plural. Me speaking without grace and just me talking in the flesh. If I'm giving you an answer as in the flesh, Asia deserved it. Yeah. So, I don't know, like take an Oscar or something. But I wanted her to be wrong so bad because I was wrong many times. And anything she did, I want the outcome to be. She did something to me. I wanted it to be, she did something to hurt me. It was her fault. I pushed that notion. And all actuality, she didn't even know. She's smart. I don't know if she picked up on it though. I don't know. But like I'd go ghost. When I'd get like extremely pissed off with her, I would go ghost. And she don't even know what the hell was going on. Like, because y'all, I swear, let me tell you something. I thought everything that I was feeling during the double back, I thought that I had got past already. Swear to God. I swear. Y'all, the whole summer I was working through it. I was working on it. I'm trying to Hell, y'all, I was unstoppable. For real, I was unstoppable when it came to me healing and me, holding myself accountable and me looking, this is what I was doing wrong. Okay, let's go through that. Why was I doing this wrong? Okay, what's the history behind this? What's the trauma behind this? I was doing so good, but when it came to her, what? What? It's like a baby without its bottle. Well, what? Boy, what? Bro, what? Y'all, everything went out. Everything I had taught myself that I learned, it went out the damn window. It went out the window. And bro, all my practices, I didn't care about none of that. That was my selective discernment. You feel what I'm saying? And let me give myself some grace. Asia is not an idiot. So I have the discernment to know when certain intentions are not pure and when certain bullshits are around me. I do know that. But the intensity of my reaction or my anger or the way I would get mad, everything in the book. Everything in the book. Everything. Anything you can think of, I said it in the book. Anything in the book. You want to know the book? Y'all know what book I'm talking about. Everything in the book. Simply because I wanted her to be wrong. I wanted to say, she hurt me. Because I no longer could hold the weight of being a villain in someone else's story. When I tell you guys these stories, when I'm going through my journey with you, when I'm reflecting, when I tell you certain stories, it's, first of all, there's a learning point to everything I do, everything I put out. Most things that I say are well-intentive. Okay? It's not to be messy. It is not to dwell on a specific person, on a specific situation, but it is to show how I've grown from certain situations. And let me tell you why I show how I've grown from certain situations. Because my certain situations are the world's general and common situations. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not the only person who feel like this. I'm not the only person who's gone through this. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the only person on earth. The earth doesn't revolve around me. You feel what I'm saying? Which is how I know that the same things I'm saying in another situation, in different contexts, in different details, in different examples, someone else, at least one other person, has gone through something similar. And they may not know how to process their emotions. They may not know what it takes to learn themselves. But you must dive really deep into you. And you gotta, in order to love you, you have to learn you, okay? Learning and loving, they coincide with each other. You feel what I'm saying? Those two L's. Learn and love yourself. If you don't do it, who else will? It's your responsibility to love you. No one else's. It's your responsibility to learn you. No one else's. Okay? You are your responsibility. Take care of you before you take care of the world. Real talk. Real talk. Me and my dad talk about this all the time. And like, even Drake said it. Took me for Spider-Man. She took me for Superman. The world would take you for Spider-Man and Superman. But you is not Spider-Man nor Superman. Be your own superhero. Save you. And that the way you do that is by loving and learning you. And by learning you, you must take accountability for your own actions. You cannot be a hypocrite to yourself. That would be a disservice to yourself and the rest of the world. Because when you start manipulating yourself into believing that you're something that you're not, or somebody that you're not, or that you haven't done something that you've done, or that you have done something that you didn't do, then you are a disservice to yourself and the rest of the world because you're not being genuine. you're not being all of who you are. The whole learning point of today, and actually the episode title is Please Excuse My Behavior. And that means, hey, I'm learning. Please excuse my behavior. Okay? That's for everybody. I'll excuse yours if you excuse mine. That's grace. Please excuse my behavior. Give me grace. That's all I'm saying. Shoot. We all need grace. Shoot. You make mistakes, I'll make mistakes. Give me grace, man. And for those who do project, please stop, okay? Because it's really you that you're mad at. Don't do that. Be by yourself, learn yourself before you dismantle and disturb others, okay? Stop using projection. And they don't even, and I'm talking about projection as far as yourself, like you reflecting or you projecting your own emotions to another, or even like projecting onto someone something else that happened in the past relationship, projecting onto someone else's actions. If you're still doing that, and just literally take 10 seconds to think about it. When I get mad at him, is it because he did it, or is it because he triggered this trauma? Think about it real quick. Just think about it, right? It's not fair to them. So if you're doing that, I think it's time for you to step back and learn you. Maybe it's time for all of us to just take a step back and look in the mirror and look around. Study your surroundings. That would tell you a lot about yourself too. For real. Real talk. Because it tells you a lot about what you tolerate and what your comfort is. Your surroundings tell you your comfort level, your comfort zone. Your surroundings will tell you your stagnation or your progression. Shoot, your surroundings will tell you your regression. Your surroundings will tell you where you are at mentally. For real. Real talk. We went a little deep today. And I know lately it's been a little deep. And trust me, I got something exciting for y'all. But in a time like this, especially in today's time, what we lack in understanding each other is understanding ourselves first. I told you I'm going to give you an opinion based off the facts. And the fact of the matter is I had to get my shit together. And my opinion on that is, well, what is my opinion on me getting my shit together? My opinion is, Asia, you're doing a great job. And I want y'all to tell yourself that too. Y'all doing a great job. You're doing great with yourself. You're doing great. Stop beating yourself up so much. I beat myself up all the time. All the time. Literally, when I initially reflected this, I was in tears, and my anxiety was trying to get the best of me because my anxiety was trying to tell me everything I was not. It reminded me of everything I used to be, and I had to remind myself and I had to pray myself out of that to remind me of everything I am today. So remember, one love, one motion. Monai, out. Peace.